Hi Virgo, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading for April. I hope everybody's well. I am going to take a quick second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Virgo out there, so guys, just take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies can reverse. So if it is resonating, Virgo, get in where you fit in, but don't force yourself into a reading. That's just not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Virgo? Virgo. All right, Virgo, you are starting out with the Tower. Uh-oh. We have the Strength card in reverse and the Four of Wands. So it looks like you've had a Tower moment, most likely within a established connection, foundation, or a long-term connection perhaps, maybe even a marriage. But there's been this Tower moment here where you feel like everything from the bottom up is just getting shaken up and that it could just, destroy the entire connection. It's really activating your fears. And this is something that basically Spirit is telling you that you need to work on in order to create stability in your life. So let's see who's in your energy. Show me who is in Virgo's energy. Show me who is in Virgo's energy. You might be dealing with a Capricorn. All right, so the person in your energy, we have the Ten of Cups. We have the Devil in reverse and the Page of Wands. This person could be a little bit younger than you. They might just be a little bit immature. But regardless, this is somebody who does see a family with you, whatever that might, be comprised of. This is somebody who sees you as being happiness for them, stabilization. This is someone who feels like, the two of you could be very happy together. However, with the Devil in reverse, there's something about toxic behaviors. They don't want to have anything to do with toxic behaviors. This could be somebody that has been really working on themselves as well. It could be also someone who has come out of some sort of addiction or toxic behavior themselves. Regardless, with the Page of Wands, there's communication here, and this is also, so this even could be someone new in your life as well. But this is a new beginning here. So let me see the energy between Virgo and this person. The Five of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, so there's been some conflict between the two of you, and it caused a Tower moment for you, Virgo, because it activated these fears. But it also activated fear in them as well. So this is something that the two of you, it looks like, are working to resolve. You may feel that you've been manipulated or vice versa. But there's definitely this energy of there being a conflict, and now this conflict is being resolved. So what's affecting this connection? Four of Cups in the reverse. And the Nine of Cups in the reverse. You may have been looking back at this and trying to decide if you should just kind of let this person go, or maybe you're just trying to let go of some sort of something you might have been holding against them, particularly if they had some toxic behaviors here in the past. So you're releasing, you're letting something go. I also see that you may have a fear of letting your guard down with this person for some reason. Now, in their energy, this is somebody who, whatever took place in this this connection here, this altercation, this conflict that the two of you had, this made this person say, no, that's toxic energy, and I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. So you're both kind of holding on to what happened, even though I see you working to resolve the problem. Let me see your outcome. Show me the outcome for the person in Virgo's energy. The King of Wands. You might be dealing with an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Yeah, very strong fire energy here. But what this is telling me is that this is kind of like both parties taking action. You're taking action to bring in some kind of stability back into this. They're taking action to kind of jumpstart things again through communication. And I do feel like there is a very passionate connection that is here between the two of you. Bottom of the deck is the Emperor, Aries energy. This is underlying energy, and it's the energy of taking control of the situation. So it's also very high vibrational energy as well. So let's clarify your reading, Virgo. Spirit, why is the Tower here for Virgo? All right, we have Justice and the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, you're trying to work this out to bring the stability in. If you, Virgo, I don't know if you have some legal situation going on that involves money. If you do, it looks like that's going to go in your direction, and you may get a windfall of money. It would have been a very huge deal, a big court case, something that caused a Tower in your life. But I'm seeing for a lot of you guys that you've got an influx of money coming in through karma, through, you know, the scales being set straight and this could even be like spiritual energy where you're receiving this influx of money because it's karmic justice after a Tower moment. So yeah, your money looks really good right now. But what I'm seeing with regard to this connection is that you do want to bring balance to this. You do want to bring stability. If there was the energy of releasing this person or breakup type energy, you're not wanting that. You want to resolve this. Let me see the Strength card in reverse, because this is indicating fear. All right, we have the King of Cups and the Devil in reverse. You love this person. And you're also recognizing that there's some toxic energy here. So you both are. And this is likely what's causing you both to kind of release this, let it go, and then, you know, resolve the conflict. So basically what you're saying is, you've activated my fears. You are, you know, bringing in some toxic behavior that I've dealt with in the past, and I don't want to deal with that. However, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones because I love you. So you're both agreeing that you don't want anything toxic here. Let me see the Four of Wands. For some of you, like I said, you're married to this person or you're in a long-term connection. Show me the Four of Wands for Virgo. Yeah, King of Wands, that's what's in your outcome, and the World. Okay, so yeah, this is a cycle that's coming to a close, and it's coming to a close because you're taking action in order to bring it to a close. You want to start a new chapter with this person. You're releasing these things that, you know, you were being guarded against, something to do with toxicity that you may have recognized, and you're saying, look, I'll let bygones be bygones, but let's not bring this toxic energy in. So this cycle is closing out. And I do see it's closing out because you're taking action. There's a very passionate connection here. Let's look at their energy. Show me the Ten of Cups. Why is the Ten of Cups here for the person in Virgo's energy? Why is the Ten of Cups here? Okay, that's too much. I'm going to need it a little bit more. I see an argument that happened, though. I'm going to need it a little bit clearer than that, Spirit. Why is the Ten of Cups here? Yeah, I definitely see an argument that happened. All right, we have the Ace of Wands. We have the Eight of Cups. And we have the Sun card in the reverse. This person was lacking clarity about what it is that they wanted. I do feel that they want this new beginning with you. They want to... So they're going to come in with something very small with the hopes of it growing into exactly what it is that they want. I do feel like at some point this person walked away here because they were very unhappy. And now they're kind of taking a step back and they're saying, look, you know, that's not really what I want. I think that we could be happy together. Let's end this argument. Let's end this toxic behavior and have this new beginning. Let me see the devil. Why is the devil in reverse? Oh. Okay, so there's 7 of Wands and the Fool. Yeah, so this person may feel that you did something that was sneaky, something they didn't like. They feel like you've been deceptive or manipulative here, and they didn't like it. But you're both agreeing that neither of you want toxic energy. Now, I'm not saying you did, Virgo. I'm saying that's their perception. See, their perception is that you're hiding something, and it could be something sexual that they're suspicious of. But I feel like at the end of the day, this is both of you having your fears activated. Because this person feels like you're doing something, but I don't see you doing anything. You actually love this person, and you feel like you're doing the right thing. Yeah, so your energy does look clean, but for some reason, they're suspicious. I do feel like whatever that is, once this energy of this conflict resolves, I feel like you're both agreeing not to lean into toxic behaviors. Yeah, let me see. So you're seeing something that reminds you of the past, and this person is very suspicious. They think that maybe you're either being influenced by someone else, or they may feel that you are stepping out on them, but I'm not seeing that in your energy. Let me see this Page of Wands. Now, it is possible that they have something here. Let me check this bottom energy. It is possible for some of you that this person could have something sneaky. They could have started something, you know, on the down low. But it doesn't make sense to me because the devil is in reverse. So I don't think so. Show me the Page of Wands. Why is the Page of Wands here? All right, we have the Ace of Swords and we have the Death card. Okay, so yeah, that's communication, that's clarity, and that's truth. So I feel like this person feels like you stepped out on them, and I don't see that in your energy. Either way, I feel like this person is going to communicate. They're going to take the initiative to do that. You're going to take the initiative to bring in stability to the situation, closing out this cycle. And there's a transformation that's happening here. Because I can tell you, if this person did feel, you know, let me rephrase that. If this person was convinced that there was something here that you actually had done, I feel like they would walk away from this connection. I do feel like they temporarily walked away. You know, they may have broken up with you, or there could have been some sort of an ending. But regardless, that seems to be resolving in the energy that I'm seeing. And I do see communication, but they may have temporarily walked away because of this conflict. Let me see why the Five of Swords is in reverse. Show me the Five of Swords reversed for Virgo. Okay, so we have the Eight of Pentacles reversed and the Hangman. So you kind of took a step back, and you want justice in the situation. So this person walked away during this conflict. It looks like you focused on your money. You're focusing on your money here. But it looks like it's in context to something legal. But regardless, you're waiting to end this conflict. But you want them to put the effort into it. And this person feels like there's things that they don't know. They feel like there's stuff that is not being shown to them, that there's secrets perhaps. And that's why they're kind of holding back, and that's why they've walked away from, you know, from this as well. There's a need also for you to look at this from a new perspective, because you are kind of fear-based a little bit. Let me see what's affecting this connection. See, the thing is I don't see them putting in the effort right now. And that doesn't mean at all, because I do see it coming, but there's something that they need to look at within their own behavior. Yeah, there's that conflict. So you both want to resolve the conflict, but it doesn't look like this person is putting in any effort, and you're kind of waiting for them to bring in the stability. Even though you both want to end it, there's a need for both of you to look at something. And primarily, Virgo, it's about you looking at this, activating your fears. It's activating their trust issues. So what's affecting the connection is the conflict itself. It's the conflict itself. Now, I feel like you want an equal, balanced give and take. I think that you are in this energy of wanting everything to kind of balance out. You don't want to deal with toxic behavior, and you do love this person, but this has activated fears. I don't know if you were in a relationship where maybe in the past you dealt with someone really toxic. Maybe in the past you dealt with somebody who breadcrumbed. But see, your fears are running the game, and that's what's affecting the connection, and it's helping to create this conflict. This person in your energy has a tendency to run. They have a tendency to cut bait and take off when they feel threatened in some way, when they feel like there's something is being done in secret, or if there's any kind of deception. But so I do feel like they kind of took off. They ran away from the chaos. They ran away from the conflict. Yeah, this person could also be a little bit codependent, so be aware of that. But I also feel like this is someone who felt like there was something deceptive going on, and now they're kind of looking at it and saying, well, maybe I made a mistake here, because now I want this new beginning. I want to take a risk. Maybe there wasn't anything toxic, you know. Let me see your outcome. But that conflict that the two of you had is sitting right in the center of the reading for sure. All right, 5 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles reversed, and the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so in the near term, I don't see this working out really well, because I see an ending. I see you wanting to close out this cycle. And it could be that you're always having to come to this person. There's a deep sense of loss that's here, and there's a real need for you to kind of look at everything, because there's a sense of rejection and abandonment that's here. I do feel that at the end of the day, you're taking the initiative, and you may actually walk away from this person, but more so because you just want to put an end to this cycle. And I definitely feel that there's passion in this connection, and you do love this person, but you may feel like this person is not being, you know, on the up and up with you. Something has activated fear for you. And so you're basically saying, this is, you know, I want something balanced. If you can't bring balance to me, then let's just end this and move forward. But it's going to leave a sense of loss for you. Now, in their energy, I see almost the same energy. I see this energy of them, you know, saying, you know, I can't trust you. I thought we were going to have this brand new beginning here, but it looks like you're leaning into toxic energy. And again, it's bringing up this energy for them, these fears for them. So what do when they feel that? They cut bait and run. This person could be very avoidant of conflict. So I do see in their energy, there's an ending of a contract. They're basically saying, I'm ending this contract. You know, I'm just going to move forward. I've got other things I'm passionate about, maybe even other people, especially if they're the one that's in this deceptive energy. And again, I'm seeing that there's going to be a deep sense of loss here. Yeah, there's this attempt to avoid conflict. There's an attempt to, you know, end conflict that's already occurred. But at the end of the day, you're both activating each other's fears. And I think that that is going to, at least temporarily, end this connection. Although I don't know that it's going to end it permanently. I do still see communication. And I do feel like this person feels justified in their behavior. You're both kind of saying you don't want toxic behavior, but you're both kind of bringing some toxic behavior to the room. So that's what's creating this sense of loss. Both of you actually do need to go in and look at things from another perspective. I see that very clearly, especially with regard to the conflict that's already happened. And there's also a need for self-care on both sides, to take the initiative towards self-care and to re-examine how you feel about commitment as well. So I do think it's a temporary break. It doesn't look like it's permanent, but it does, I do see something of a break. There's still a lot of passion here, though. Now, if this person is moving towards someone new, it's not going to work out. Page of Wands in the reverse. That won't work out. So I do feel that at the end of the day, you're dealing with somebody who could be a little bit immature. This is somebody who I feel like, especially with regard to communication, they don't communicate really well. And I also feel like when things don't go their way, they tend to kind of have a tantrum, pitch a tantrum. And that's why I'm seeing this is not permanent. It's almost like this person's walking away in order to try to manipulate the situation. However, your energy is not one of a page. You're coming out in the energy of the Emperor. And this person may feel that, you know, they can never match up to your energy. So I feel like you're going to be taking charge of this situation to bring stability into your own life. And that's going to cause this person to throw a tantrum, basically. All right, I'm going to pull an oracle card, and we'll see if there's any further advice, Virgo. Pulling for Virgo. Excuse me. What is it they say when you sneeze? It means somebody's coming to see you. All right, so yep, you have change in direction. The changes you're experiencing are divinely directed by your newborn willingness to open your heart to love and our guidance. You are protected now and in the future, so follow your path to the happy outcomes that you desire. And if you notice, like, this is a stork, this is a baby. Some of you could be pregnant, so, you know, if you're not trying to get pregnant, be careful, because I do see this as a very passionate connection, but some of you could find out that you're pregnant. But I'm also seeing babies can also indicate new beginnings, something new being birthed into your life. All right? So I hope that this has been helpful for you, Virgo. If you have resonated with this reading, please hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hype the video if you get the opportunity. And until I see you in your next reading, Virgo, know that you are loved, and namaste.